Hi, and welcome to your yoga for flexibility. So, we are changing up the sessions just a little bit, which I'm super excited about. So, you'll see now the little layovers, the wording, everything. It'll still be what flow is, still offer you the work towards your mobility, your flexibility, movement, recovery, but we are changing over to pretty much the essence of what I teach in any case. So very excited about that. If you're doing this session on catch up, please leave a comment, say you were here, and let me know how it went. And if you're here live, thank you for joining. We, of course, getting started in about 15 minutes. So roll out your mat if it's not. And I am looking forward to seeing who's here this morning. So I'm going to find you guys here so I can get to your comments and say hi to everyone. It is the 1st of April. I am definitely going to put some time aside. I've obviously been doing my thinking work already, but put my time aside today to really have a look at my planning for the next couple of months. I think it's super important to have not only your goals for this month, but your goals for the term. Of course, the next quarter of the year, we are already past 25% of it. We've got that special running only today. So, oh no, not actually. Today's the 1st. Yesterday was your last day. I think I told everyone they still had today. For that 25% special that's just passed, guys. I hope you grabbed it. If you grabbed it, I hope you're super excited. And let me know if you'll be heading on to your one-on-one journey. Good morning, Ivor. Good morning, Amy. Welcome, everyone. Today is the day of all the exciting announcements. So make sure that you hang around after the yoga session. Maybe you can have a quick jump through the shower, grab your breakfast, grab your coffee. If you have already done your workout, otherwise I suggest doing the 8 a.m. And then, just log in to that chat, call it 8. Jono will be chatting, we'll be announcing everything that is coming up. So don't miss out on that. It's going to be epic. Absolutely epic. Olga, good morning. Exciting to have you here live, Olga. Welcome. Renata, good morning. Taryn Perry, good morning, lovely. So for those of you who are not on the WhatsApp group, there is a specific, it's called the Flow Sunrise Stretches group. We're going to be changing that name. So I will send more information about that to the group today. And then I'll post about it to Jeff Live, to Jeff Together, to give you guys a little more of an idea of what's happening with the whole kind of flow, makeover, revamp, and more exciting news about that coming up. So nothing's changing for the worse. Things just change for the better here. We are not afraid of change, Jeff. We are not afraid of pivoting. We are not afraid of moving things up. And it's exciting stuff. Welcome, everyone. Gerbrand, goeiemôre. Welkom. Voel asof ek jou naam nou vir 'n rukkie nie gesien het nie. Maar welkom, ek's bly jy's terug. Today, of course, a session that's more geared towards our flexibility and our mobility. So yes, of course, there are strength aspects in the session. Some parts of the body need to firm and hold, while other parts of the body are able to release and move. But we are going to be a little more fluid. We're going to keep the body moving this week, focusing on our joint complexes and just kind of shining a light throughout the entire body. So I was explaining it yesterday at the 5:30 p.m. strength class, which is also changing. So keep an eye out. There's going to be a big yoga announcement today from me. with all the info, so you won't miss anything. Salna, good morning. I said last night, with this week being about joints, mobility, etc., is that it's not about trying to fix something or improve something, etc., etc. I think that's where our minds go a lot of the time. For me this week, I really want it to be more about just creating a general awareness of particularly joints that you may be not thinking about, or that you don't pay a lot of attention. How your bones are put together, the bones in the feet, in the toes, in the heel. If you just look at your foot, it is such a complex part of the body. There's so many little joints and connections and tissues in there. And we're on our feet all the time. So what are you doing to offer your body the best form of recovery, of relief, and healing, so that it can put out, so that we can do our strong head workouts, our long runs, our intense sport events, and keep health within our body. That's ultimately why I'm here for you guys. And that's physical level. Then I'm not even going into our emotional and our mental health. So if you ever have any questions around any of this, please feel free to drop me a message at my Coach Kathleen, Jeff Coach Kathleen Facebook profile. Pop me a message, write on the page, or even write a post on the Jeff Together group, and we can all have a big discussion. Of course, you can also pop into the WhatsApp group. So we have just under 10 minutes to go before we get started. Excuse me. I had a itchy throat attack last night in class as well. So just forgive me. I'm on the mend from a little bit of a thing. We are changing seasons. But I'm definitely on the mend. Bronwyn, good morning and happy Thursday. Those of you who are on the one-on-one program, I want you to please tag your coach. And then if you want to, you can always pop in onto your coach's group and find out where the rest of your crew are. Maybe pop a message in there now and say, I don't know, if you're from Ronnie's Blasters, from Greg's Game Changers, whoever you're with, the Titans. You guys are all absolutely epic. Maybe pop a message into the groups and just say, hey guys, I'm at yoga now. It's starting at 7. It is for flexibility, it's for recovery this morning. So get your bums onto your mats. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Lovely to see the names pop on here. I know that Lit is currently underway with Dom, and then of course Louis' strength sessions that now run on Tuesday and Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. runs at the same time as this session. So you're either going to have to do Louis live or me live, or switch it up maybe between a Tuesday and a Thursday, because it's quite a nice combo to do the 30 minutes strength and then the 30 minutes yoga flexibility work. So that's pretty cool. And this morning you won't need anything specific for your practice. You could have a cushion nearby. Grab some water if you haven't had any water this morning. And just to have that cushion, or even a yoga block if you have one, just as some support for your practice. So as in any physical activity, any physical sport, well, actually really most things we do, in general, any support that we use is there to aid us in taking ourselves further, going deeper into our practices, advancing, and that's what props do. So they are there to help you advance in your practice by supporting you where you are perhaps not able to support yourself quite yet. And they teach the body and the mind then how to kind of move more into that role, into that pose, shift your mind, muscle, mind-body connections. So get your props. Mooiste Esmarie, goeiemôre. Ek hoop dit gaan goed met jou. Ek hoop jy voel fantasties. Baie dankie vir jou baie mooi comment gister op my post. If you did not see, I did a a whole big post yesterday because I just went and got my hair done, and it's always just interesting to have that conversation to see what people really feel about those kinds of things. Changing our physical appearance. What does that mean to you? Where does it come from? What are you looking to gain from it, and what do you actually gain from it? So very, very interesting. I think your perception will be different because we all come from different walks of life. I think you'll think about it differently potentially if you're a parent. If you have, had any traumatic experiences through life around physical appearance, which I think on some level we all have. It's just interesting. If you haven't seen the post, you can go check it out. The comments have been really, people taking a lot of time to write down how they feel about this. And it's absolutely epic. It's been very, very cool to have that conversation. And I think it's an important one to have. I think even in our community here at Jeff, where we are seeing a lot of before and after photos. I hope that you guys are not just looking at the photos, right? That captures us visually. We see that, we go, wow, that is the physical manifestation of what this person, has put in. But I hope you always read the posts, because that's where the real magic is. Because in all those posts, except for the fact that you're changing your quality of life when you start looking after your physicality, it changes you on so many different levels, in so much depth. So yeah, that post has been just super inspiring for me over the last 24 hours, and I'm excited to continue that conversation. I was chatting with a friend about it last night, because we all have our soft boundaries, our hard boundaries. Where does it stop for you? Is it with coloring your hair? Is it with plucking or waxing your eyebrows? Is it with permanent eye makeup? We'll all have our different levels of where we think it's too much or it's overboard. It's an interesting topic. I don't think there's a right or a wrong. We definitely are all extremely different. So it's been very cool to observe that conversation. And I'm looking forward to having more conversations like this very soon. I can't say much more than I've already said to you guys this morning. We've got about 2 minutes to go, just because there is a special announcement at 7:45. It's epic. It's like super, super epic. So make sure that you have a listen for that. I will be very active on social media today, so feel free to drop me any questions if you have any. And just a big day here. Good morning, Amy Jane. Welcome. So you might notice here at the top, it's now yoga with Kathleen. So that's one of the changes excuse me, that I can announce to you today. And I will be doing a post about it on Facebook, on the WhatsApp group, on Instagram, and just share a little more about what that means. Moving from flow to yoga. It's almost a year later that we've done a year of flow together. It's been absolutely incredible. Most of you here are names that have been with me from the beginning. And I know things have changed quite a lot. But like I said earlier, we are not afraid of change here, Jeff. We welcome change. We welcome a challenge. And I will offer you all the info you need to know. It's very exciting stuff. So I think a lot of you are going to be super stoked when you find out exactly what we have in store. It is 7 o'clock. Let's give it another moment to see if anyone is going to come in from the lit session. You can lie on your back in the meanwhile. Grab a cushion if your hips are a little bit tight. Good morning, Rachel. I hope you're well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So you can lay down on your back. If you did last night's strength session, Some of the poses are going to be, you're going to recognize them, but we'll do them a little differently. Last night, it was much more strength focused, foaming around those joints. And yes, we'll have support this morning, but you're going to feel a little bit more into fluidity, opening up the body, moving and grooving on this Thursday morning. Aiden, good morning and welcome. You are not late. You are actually perfectly on time. Just move this a little bit. There we go. So we will get started. You can bring yourself to lay down on your mat. We'll start in constructive relaxation pose. So take your feet wider than your hips. Let your inner knees touch and cross your arms over your chest. Close your eyes. Arrive at yourself, arrive at your practice. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. And a deep breath in. And an exhale out. A last deep breath in. And a deep breath out. I want you to imagine you can just press the pause button. If you had a remote of your life, of time, press the pause button now. For the next 30 minutes, you're not going to press play. So everything else is paused. It's waiting. You'll press play in 30 minutes, but only in 30 minutes. And for now, just stay here in this paused moment with yourself. Now you can slowly open your eyes. Bring your hands either side of your hips and draw the knees towards your chest so you can kind of slide the thumbs under the fleshy part of the buttocks. Relax through your ankles. Joint focus today, so really feel into all the joint complexes as we move. Squeeze your thighs a little closer to your chest without lifting the back. Separate the knees as far apart from one another as you can. And then move the knees all the way away from you as far as you can without letting the lower back lift. And then bring inner knees to touch and squeeze the thighs back to chest. So we'll move that to the breath. Inhale, separate the knees away from you. Touch them. Exhale, squeeze to chest. Inhale, separate away from you. Exhale, squeeze the chest. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze the chest. And inhale away. Nice. And exhale, squeeze the chest. Extend the legs up to the ceiling. See if you can straighten them all the way. And just move through a few little ankle rolls here. Release through those ankles, the feet, the toes. Nice. Let's find a happy baby. So bend the knees towards the armpits. Soles of the feet up to the ceiling. And then you can either take your hands to the back of the thighs, or perhaps you can reach for the outer blades of the feet. You might not be warm yet, so just take it easy here as you stick the shoulder blades, the upper back, the middle back, and the lower back down onto the mat. Nice. Keep your left leg where it is, but place your right foot on the mat. And then take a figure 4, your outer left ankle onto your right thigh. Encourage that left knee to move away from you, but feel it in the outside of the left hip and not the left knee. Lift and spread through the toes of that right foot. So you're activating the arch. And then allow the right toes to lower. We'll take a little lift here through the hips. So hands either side of the hips. Bridge pose with that right leg. Press into the right foot. You can work your shoulders a little underneath you. And then using gravity to encourage that left knee down. If you can and want to, you could slide the heels of the hands underneath the hips and just give yourself a little bit of an extra support, a little opening here. So just see how that feels. You're going to take about 2 more breaths here. You let the lower belly kind of sink in between the hip bones. Strong right leg. And then release the hips. Roll the spine back down. Take a twist now. So use your left ankle to encourage your right knee over to the left. Tee out your arms to the side. Take a nice long stretch from right armpit to right knee. If this doesn't feel good in that right knee joint, slip left foot down onto the floor. Let's take 2 more breaths. All right, keep the left foot where it is, so that while you're bringing your right knee up, slide that left foot down so that you got crossed legs. And now we're in kind of like the beginning phase of an eagle pose. You're going to go over to your right into a twist. So knees all the way over to the right. Again, let's take about 2 full breaths here. All right, and then let's come back to center. Unravel as you bring the legs back into your happy baby. And then just pause here for a moment. We've just been in this pose, but you might notice quite a big difference. After just that little bit of subtle movement of working in and around those big hip joints, you might already feel a little bit of a release. Happy baby, second side. Half happy baby. Right foot stays, left foot down to your bridge pose alignments. Figure 4, outer right ankle onto left thigh. Again, external rotation of that right femur bone in the hip sockets. Hands either side of you. You can even hold onto your mat here if that assists you a little more to press into that left foot. Encourage that right knee down, and if you did so on the other side, you can bring the heels of the hands underneath the lower back on the side, adjust as you must, and then encourage that right knee to open down to the floor. About 2 more breaths. All right, so then you can slowly roll the spine down. Take your twist to the right to open your arms out into a T. Left knee over to the right. And now we really want to get that length all the way from this left armpit down the whole side body. Thinking a little deeper than skin and muscle. Going into the internal systems. Getting a little bit into the stomach. The descending line of the colon. 2 more breaths. And then that right foot's going to slip down the outside of that left leg as you bring the left knee up. You're in your half eagle bind. Take it into a twist. Again, knees to the left now. Stacking right hip on top of left. Anchor that right shoulder. About 2 more breaths. Nice, and then come all the way up. Release both legs again, straight up to the ceiling. Stretch them out and flex into your ankles. Reach the arms up as well. Try and really stick the whole back body onto the mat. And let's again just move through our wrists and our ankles here. So this week really working through the joints. I want you to feel like you're really firming around the kneecaps, firming around these quad muscles so that you can open the backs of the legs. All right. Let's bend the knees. Give yourself a nice last little squeeze here. You can curl your nose up to your knees. And then roll to the side if you need to. Otherwise, simply take a little rock up, cross at the ankles, come over your knees, and come onto all fours. Hands under shoulders. Knees are hip distance. I want you to spread through your palms and spread through your fingers. Straighten out through the elbows. Opening the tops of the ankles. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Keep everything as it is except press your buttocks back towards your heels. Don't move your hands. And release your head down. So now you're really just feeling for pressing into the tops of those feet. Opening the tops of the ankle. That might actually feel quite tricky, especially if you're in shoes a lot. Just take 2 more breaths. Roll your outer shoulders down. Nice, and then lift back onto your knees. Tuck your toes under. I like to lift my knees a little bit so I can really get those big toes tucked underneath. Heels straight up to the ceiling. Same thing, press the buttocks back to the heels. Now we open the bottoms of the feet. So you can look back, make sure that the heels aren't falling out. As if they're 2 little magnets to those inner ankles, squeeze them slightly towards one another. Press firmly into the arms and breathe 2 full breaths. Nice. Come back onto all fours and untuck the toes. Sorry, that felt a bit hectic. Take a little gentle tap out. And then we're going to get into the backs of the wrists. So turn your fingers out to the side. Maybe that's enough where you can spend a few moments here. Just feel that transfer of weight. Otherwise, take the fingers to rotate backwards towards the corners of the mat. Or perhaps you can go full flip, fingertips facing the thighs. So if you've been working with me this week, maybe in the beginning of this week, this felt really intense. And perhaps by today, it's starting to feel more and more open. All right, especially for yoga practice, this is a crucial opening in the body, right? A lot of people always say, "Ooh, I can't do that much yoga because my wrist hurts." It's not only because of strength in that joint, it's also because of the flexibility in that joint. So just stay here a few more moments. You can sway a little side to side. You can perhaps make a few little circles. Nice. All right. And then let's release those hands. Bring the fingers to face forwards. Should feel quite nice. A bit intense. You can always just take a little scrunch in of each hand once or twice. And we'll move through a few rounds cat-cow now, getting into those little intersections of the vertebrae. So cow pose, lift your sit bones, curl your ears back, open your throat. And then cat pose, opposite movement, round. Curl your chin, curl your tailbone down. And then just keep going like that. Inhales, you'll lengthen, extend. Exhale, curl round. Keep going, just a couple more rounds like that. Get into the shoulder girdle, the pelvic girdle. Finish this next exhale. Come into a neutral spine. Tuck your toes under. Lift the hips up and back. Take a downward dog. So if you've got very tight hamstrings, I'd like for you to bend your knees here. So we always offer priority to the spine. So the spine is lengthening. Head is relaxed down. You've got that diagonal line from wrists to elbows to shoulders, up the waistline to the hips. So lift your sit bones up and back. And then you can all start to pedal your legs. So bending and stretching them one at a time. Trying to anchor the heels down to the floor. Lift your lower belly. Straighten out your arms. And feel like you're rolling your outer shoulders down to the floor. So roll your inner shoulders away from the ears, giving yourself a little bit of space between shoulders and ears. All right. And then let's see if we can find a stillness in our dog. Maybe heels anchor, maybe they don't. Let the head be soft, just kind of rock it side to side. Switch on your breath if you've forgotten about it. Nice. And then you can look forward. You can just start to walk your feet one at a time. If you need to come up to your fingertips, do walk all the way forward. Bring your hands to your shins. Take a halfway lift. So you're sending your sit bones back. They're lifting up away from the back of the knees. Hands are pressing into the shins. You're flattening out the spine. You can keep a bend in the knees here if you need to. My hamstrings are extremely tight this morning. And then you can slowly release down. Reach for your opposite elbows and just start to sway yourself side to side. So full lengthening, full tractioning in the spine. A little to the right, a little to the left. Full deep breaths. Alright, and then let's all release the arms. Bend the knees. If they're not, prepare to spinal roll all the way up to stand. Loop one vertebra at a time until you come all the way up. Loop the shoulders. Bring the hands to touch in front of the chest. So bring right and left palm together. Take a little lift of the elbows and bring your big toes to touch. So I want you to look down for a moment. Have a look at your feet. All right? Make sure that they are equal. Make sure that they're in line with one another and that you're bearing weight equally on left and right. Okay, so I want you to feel that as we move through a little flow, trying to keep the weight level and evenly distributed between right and left, ankles and wrists. All right. Release your arms down. Reach both arms up. You can sweep them up and back behind you. Find your high mountain and then bring your palms to touch. You can look up to your fingertips. Go full stretch now. Lift your rib cage a little further away from the waistline. Firm through those knee joints. And notice if you're swaying to the right or to the left, can you try and squeeze onto your midline as you draw your belly back? Nice. Bring the palms all the way through center. Move yourself down towards the floor. Bend your knees if you need to. And again, just notice how your weight perhaps sways side to side. Release down, tuck your chin. All right, take a little halfway lift. Bend your knees as much as you need to place your palms down onto the mat. Same width as for your downward dog. And step back into a plank pose. From your plank pose, again, bring the shoulders above the wrists. Squeeze the legs. Squeeze the belly, navel slightly towards the pubic bone towards navel. Lower your knees. Hug your elbows in and back. Lay your thighs, your hips, your belly, your chest down and untuck your toes. Take your hands wider of your shoulders and about a hand's distance forward. Press up into a cobra pose. Straighten out the arms if you'd like and look forward. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Full breath in. Full breath out. And lower down. Hands back either side of the rib cage. Tuck the toes. Press onto your knees. And then lift all the way up and back. Downward dog. Ground the heels if possible. Find your full expression of your dog shape. Now this time, instead of walking feet kind of one until you get to the top of your mat, we're going to do it in 2 steps. So look forward, step your left foot, and then your right foot to join your left, halfway lift. Forward fold. No spinal roll this time. Straight legs, straight spine. So it's a reverse swan dive. Straight legs, you're going to look forward, lift. Activate core, lift the arms. Then come all the way up, revolve the palms up to the ceiling, bring them to touch. And draw them back into your chest. Alright, so that's a full round. We're going to move that half a breath per movement. Release the arms down. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Ground your palms. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees and step your feet back. Plank pose. Take an inhale as you rock yourself a little forward. Lower the knees, lower yourself down. Exhale. Untuck the toes. You can keep the hands where they are or move them forward for your inhale, cobra. And then lower, exhale. Slide hands slightly back so that you can lift up towards your downward dog. And then press into your downward dog, heels down, exhale. Look forward. This time we're going to step right foot, then left foot to the top of the mat. Take a halfway lift and a forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan, come all the way up. We'll do one more round. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lifts. Exhale, step back, plank pose. Rock forward on your inhale. Exhale, knees down, lower yourself down. Untuck the toes. Inhale, cobra. Pull your ears back. And exhale, lower. Inhale to lift to your downward dog. And exhale, settle into your dog shape. Pause here. Bring the big toes a little closer to one another. Float your right leg all the way up to the sky. Curl your right heel to your buttock. Look forward and step your right foot between your hands. You're now in a nice long lunge. Lift the belly, look forward, slide the shoulder blades down the back body. A little pyramid pose variation. So keep your back toes tucked under, back legs straight. As you start to lift the hips and straighten this front leg. So you might not get it all the way straight. You might kind of be here. That's fine. Release the head then. But if you can, it's 2 strong straight legs. And you feeding your chest forward. Release the head down. 3 full breaths. Nice. Come back into your lunge. Walk all the way across to your left. Find that long lunge first. So right heel is up. Sink the hips down. Look forward. Slide the shoulder blades down the back body. Pyramid pose variation. Keep your right heel lifted. If you can, straighten both legs. Lean the chest forward, relax the head down, don't overdo it. So your body might have felt more flexible yesterday. That doesn't mean you need to get frustrated with it today. All right, and then back into the lunge. Lower the right knee down, reach both arms up, take a full breath in. Circle the hands round and back behind you. Interlace the fingers, roll the shoulders back, squeeze shoulder blades together. So option to stay with the right knee down here or raise that knee up as you take that back bend. Just 2 breaths here. Nice, and then you can lower that back knee. Release the hands, bring them up. Take a twist to your left. This time bring your right hand across that left thigh. You can bring your left hand either to the back of that left thigh or simply wrap it around that left hip as you take that twist a little deeper. So whatever feels better to you, it's like a reverse twist. Getting deeply into this front line of the body. Breaths. Nice. And then simply come back forward. Raise your right knee up. Walk all the way across to your right. Lower left knee down. Come up into your lunge. Bring the hands behind you. Take your second interlace. Roll shoulder caps back. Squeeze shoulder blades. Lift the chest. Okay, press into that front foot. If you raised your knee on your first side, raise it now. 2 full breaths. Nice. Lower that back knee down. Reach the arms up at your twist. Twist to your right. Left hand moves across that right thigh. Right hand can either come around to the hip or you can kind of take a little back bend with that twist. Slide that left hand down the outer left thigh. Remember, you don't want to feel pain. Okay, support yourself with your abdominals. There are muscles that are activating. There are parts that are opening, parts that are closing. Share your awareness, spread your awareness through all parts of the body. Nice. Unravel, simply look forward, raise your left knee up. You're going to walk yourself into a straddle. So look forward, toes forward, lift those sit bones and release yourself down. Take a little lift, halfway lift, and fold back down a little deeper. Just do that a couple of times. So inhale, come up, and exhale, fold a little deeper. Folding back down. And then the next time you come up, heel, toe the feet to a squat. So bring the heels in, toes out, sit yourself down. Bring your hands to your chest, into your malasana, your squats, elbows to the inside of the knees. Draw the crown of the head tall. Nice. And then sit yourself down, cross at the ankles, reach both arms up, take a forward fold over the legs, release head down. Ground yourself. Keep that pause button on. Roll the spine up. Take a loop of the shoulders, change the cross of the legs. Reach both arms up. And again, take a forward fold. Release head down. Right, and then slowly come up. Let's bring the hands together in front of the heart, palms to touch, thumbs to sternum, close the eyes. With the pause button still on pause, take a last few moments just in quietness and stillness with yourself. Thank yourself for showing up, for getting on your mats. And know that you are in control of that remote, of that pause button. So whenever you need to throughout your day, in any way you can, it might not look like a moment on your mat. It might just look like 5 minutes in the hallway or 2 seconds outside. You need to make it work for wherever you are, but you are still in control of taking that moment, taking your time, owning it, and pressing pause when you need to. Let's all take a last deep breath in together. Exhale out. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you for joining. If you're on catch up, I hope you enjoyed the practice. And if you're live, thank you for joining me live this morning. As I mentioned, things are changing a little bit, shifting from flow to the new expression of yoga here at Jeff. And I'm very, very excited about this. So I'll be doing a post about it a little bit later, explaining to you guys exactly what that means. We're definitely not going backwards, only going forwards. And I'm very excited about these changes. And I think you guys are going to be as well. So if you have not joined the WhatsApp group yet, I'll be having a little bit of a chat in the WhatsApp group, answering some questions today. So if you're not in that group, I can highly suggest that you get onto the group. If you have any questions, that is where I will be answering most of them this morning. And I'll pop a little video in there for you guys. That'll be a little later today because first we have the exciting announcement in like 15 minutes. So yay. Bronwyn, I'm so glad you enjoyed that. Sorry guys, so annoying. Cheryl and Morris, I am so glad that you're back on the mats. That is very exciting. Welcome back. Lucy, so glad you enjoyed it, Lucy. Danielle, how do we join the group? Danielle, I am going to, if there's someone who can pop the link on for her now, for you, Danielle, now, that would be amazing. Let's see who's here, if there's anyone here. Amy, if you're here, if you could pop the invite link for the Flow Sunrise Stretches group, that would be amazing. But otherwise, Danielle, I will get back to you and pop that link on for you. Bella, so glad you enjoyed the practice. Lots of love. Olga, thank you for joining. Enjoy your long weekend. I'm not going to see you guys tomorrow, boo. But I will be joining. I won't be joining. I will be back on Tuesday, but I will be active today. So Amy, you'll also get the link. Amy Jane, other Amy's, we're going to probably post the link to the invites to the WhatsApp group. If she doesn't, I will. Aiden, first flow of the week. I didn't feel stiff until I started stretching. That's how it works. In these classes, we shine that little torch on all parts of the body. Rachel, I know, I am so excited. I think this is the best thing ever. Gerbrand, dit is 'n groot plesier. Baie lekker om jou weer hier terug te sien. Ek is baie bly jy dit geniet. Marie, this morning something awakened within. Took a breath in during the twist and felt like I was standing next to a stream of water, realizing that stream was inside me. Guys, that is just amazing. Epic stuff. I'm so excited for everything that's to come. Adele, I'm so glad that you enjoyed it and that you were here live. Nancy, so much love. That's just amazing, everyone. I'm so glad you enjoyed the practice. Have a wonderful weekend. Remember, stick to your 5.5 days. Do it. All right? Nothing needs to change. You've got a book full of recipes. If you have not downloaded it, go download it. It is amazing. Thousands of people are using those recipes, and so can you. So go check that out in the vault, and have a Jeff-friendly Easter. Why not? You've got your 1.5 days. But especially those of you on the one-on-one, stay strong, guys. You'll thank yourself. Future self always thanks current self for what current self decides to do. So just keep that in mind. Chocolate eggs only on Easter Sunday. Haha. Yes, Renata. Exactly. All right, guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. If you're driving, please drive safe. If you've got time now, hang around 7:45 for the announcement. Epicness. And have a beautiful day. And I'll chat to you guys on the groups, on the Facebook, on the social. Lots of love. Chat later. Bye.